draft because you go in with different set openers in mind. As first pick, it's very difficult because what you want to take first overall is dependent on enemy bans.
Sure.
And then as second pick, it's just like, well, they're going to pick one of these 6 heroes, and we're going to do this or this or this.
And I also think you know, we saw for a long time, and we talked about this a lot at CQ, that it felt like for long stretches in 7-2-0 that there kind of was no cheese. I mean, Brood was out of the game. Teams weren't picking Husker as much. It feels like that cheese is back, so that the advantage of the 10th pick overall is back a little bit more as well.
Yep. A lot of teams are saving it.
5 seconds remaining.
Just glad solo mids are back.
Well, I mean, how many nerfs did it take, right? I am, though, I gotta say, going into these drafts, I'm looking a lot at the Magnus. OG are riding a 10-game win streak on that hero. It's proven so effective for them in several games in this tournament.
I'm looking at Lesh. I think that hero is busted.
Yeah, it's really looking good.
I think NiP
rushing Atos on it. Oh my god!
I told you.
You did.
I was so upset. Who was it we were watching? Oh, yeah, not to blame, but like Universe. He never bought arcane boots. He went drums into Atos, into like Ghost Scepter, Sanj, Kaya. It was just really weird. I think that hero is incredible because if you itemize, like you have to itemize in a way that you just kind of ramp up. It's again, you do so much damage and you just buy all these items that give you survivability along with a bit of utility. It's perfect for this patch. You also do massive amount of structure damage.
Bounty Hunter ban. This is, by the way, I love this Razor ban opening out from OG. Fata, the winningest Razor player in Pro Dota 2 history, and what Cap was saying about Fata being a player that can kind of play these lane dominators, take tops in a way. Razor is something definitely featuring in that.
Do you guys think Viper is just a passing fad, or do you think he's actually strong? Right, because it's just this small little window that he's become popular.
The break mechanic is still not as understood as other concepts in Dota. It's part of why I feel like Nyx is back. Because there's certain matchups, like when PA used to be very good against Nyx. You're a natural BKB buyer. Yeah, you would proc his Carapace with your dagger, but it would still apply the slow, and now you're leaping on top of him, right? Whereas now, Nyx has this extra bit of offensive capability because you remove the mischance for 4 seconds.
And I think in talking about the Viper, I think teams are just, players are relearning how to play Viper because he used to dominate lines behind his orb, and now you're seeing Nether Toxin getting used early.
This is exactly what I mean when I say second pick, by the way. Because
oh my god,
you see Lifestealer, I guarantee PPD has discussed, if they go Lifestealer, we're immediately going to get Ursa, and they pick a support Rasta I quite like. I think it's one of the best heroes in this patch, even though Aster lost today running it. I don't blame Baboka on the Shaman.
It's the most picked hero now in the tournament. Rasta has surged ahead of the Juggernaut. And I can't say enough. I love this Ursa because even if it falls behind, it still does its job. It's still this hero damage engine as long as its team has control advantage. The Rasta gives you 11 seconds of single target lockdown. It gives you the ability to push objectives.
And I know that OG loved the Coddle. I'm not a huge fan of it into Rasta specifically. Yeah, because Ursa can ult off your Blinding Light, natural BKB buyer, and in addition, I think that heroes that can apply just team fight structure from their ultimate or just an ability like Tombstone.
Ursa kills the Wisp.
Yeah, but you don't really counter initiate properly because your Rasta is going to be dropping wards on a tower. Coddle, you don't really mess with that. You still don't want your team to invade in the middle of Rasta wards. It's the same reason I like Undying and Phoenix against Coddle as well.
You're the one that taught me this, and I think it's absolutely right, that you want to have these ults that you can just drop on top of the ball.
It was just something that OG used to do old school counter when they were up against enemy Undying, is they would pick Phoenix. And sure, you might be weaker in the laning phase, but you're very good at just sort of equalizing, stalling, and eventually you hit 6 and egg trumps Tomb.
So do you think if they're picking Coddle and they know this, do you think if they're doing this that they're just thinking of going a really team fight heavy lineup so that they come back and pick something like a Phoenix or pick a bunch of stuff that they can then drop on top of the wards and just try and win that zone?
Possibly. I think I'd look at like something like PL if they didn't already have Lifestealer. But I think
Coddle is still just like one of the better laning.
Let's not overthink this.
It's still a great hero. Don't get me wrong. It's easy to read in too much to 5 positions and those relationships because really, you could argue it's like the least effective part of your draft. It's kind of just comfort.
And that's the key, right?
Yeah.
OG has gotten this incredible production from their 5, and you saw the three best 5s for No Tail banned out by NiP. They prioritize that coddle there.
And I like watching these teams draft just because, like, OG, you know for a fact that they expected NiP to ban these 3 heroes. Maybe they would have thrown in like an Ember Spirit or something weird, but Chen and Furion, those are the OG bans. And they take out Bane and Razor, 2 incredible matchups against Lifestealer and Insta-Pick it. So both squads obviously prepared for the opener, and the real draft kind of begins in this second phase ban stage. Because now it's more open. You know, the tree trunk gets like slimmer, and there's more branches, and you can go in so many different directions that it becomes more about the creativity of the individual drafters, not just what they wrote down on paper.
What do you pick against Ursa?
Well, you buy 4 staffs. Heroes that can peel are quite nice. Yeah.
You've talked about it so often, Kyle, in some of your casts here. You want to have that poke against an Ursa.
Kunkka is great against Ursa. I love that. It's not the greatest. I mean, mid matchup kind of goes both ways, but anything that because Ursa's got big abilities in the BKB and his ult. If you can force him to use ult in an engagement, like just to cleanse something or just to like reposition real quick, he's just dead if you catch him. It's a lot like, you know, blowing up PL's doppelganger. You know, similar function.
I feel like whenever I see these Ursas in the draft, I just look at it and I go, like, God, it just feels like such a low cost. Like, we've got this Ursa versus Lifestealer. It's so cheap just to be able to say, hey, we've got this 1-to-1, you know, should be okay. But then we're also eliminating so many other heroes that are just hard to run now against an Ursa. All these melee heroes.
Well, I like it a lot because it always does something in your draft, and especially as Radiant, you want to have a way to kill Roche effectively.
Right.
Because you we've seen it time and time again. Between like the 10 to 18 minute mark, the Dire side invades Radiant jungle to clear the tier 1.
Yeah, and
start
the
placing
Radiant
wards,
side
take
says
control.
thank you very much.
And they run and do Roshan. And the problem is when you don't have this hero like Ursa that immediately gives you that objective, you're now just ending up trading evenly and not abusing that side advantage. It's why Radiant has, what, 58% win at this tournament so far? Like, it's been that way for years.
And then the coupling with Shadow Shaman, like, besides everything else that Shadow Shaman does for you, it's ensuring that it's going to take those towers, right? You have a guaranteed way to easily take the safe lane tower. Probably you're going to be taking the mid tower pretty early. And that kind of opening leaves easy Roshans for Radiant side.
I think you could look to Shadow Demon and NiP. Shadow Demon, maybe a Wyvern, or...
I like Wyvern a lot. I'm not sure about the Shadow Demon. You want your 2 supports to be Rasta SD?
Not really. I'm just trying to think of what they would do here. I feel like it's going to be a Saksa Shadow Shaman for sure.
Oh,
PPD probably just going to pick some kind of lane dominator.
I think PPD. I think he could pick. I think he could pick Undying, although it's not my favorite against.
I want to see Naga support.
Turn to pick.
Well, there's your support.
There you go. It's similar. Like, it's the same concept as the Wyvern and the SD, though.
Do you turn around for Jug with your next pick then? Safe lane Jug?
It's pretty nice. It's very... we'll see, because then you commit the Ursa to mid lane. I guess you could offlane it as well.
No, that's the thing. We've seen so much value offlane Ursa.
I think you just pick a side laner, though. Save your mid for last, no matter what. So you could go Jug, but I think your draft's a bit rudimentary if you go that direction. You don't have any natural playmaker, and you're reliant on winning your lanes in order to...
5 seconds remaining.
Especially with the teamfight potential that I think is coming from OG, that kind of locks you down into very skirmish-oriented heroes. You're not going to be able to win that one big fight.
Yep. I think if I'm OG, I'm still looking at Leshrac, man. I love Yul's buyers against Ursa as well. Just more kite, more ability. Like, he pops ult, boom, throw him up in the air, then stun him. Very good against Lich and Rasta, because you just run on top of them.
Can kite the Ursa around.
Exactly.
High natural
Great
move
synergy
speed.
with Lifestealer.
Yeah. Well, this is... Said we're talking about, I immediately look at, like, well, maybe it's not Centaur right now, or Slardar, right? Slardar was...
I do
a
like
prominent
Slardar.
duo with the Lifestealer.
I like Earth Steward a lot here, too. High reach and delivery for the Lifestealer. Whenever I see 2 super squishy supports...
Well, okay. Again, the question about you are OG. You are playing against a melee core showing on the other side. What do you pick? And it's so important, right? That this is the classic time that you pick that 2-4 flex, right? They will run that as a support monkey king.
That dream is dead. It's not going to be Jarex's hero. It's highly unlikely.
10 seconds remaining.
Okay. We'll see.
I know you want it to come back, but if Baboka's not playing it,
okay.
come on.
But Book has just not been. He's not been anywhere near JRX's level. And they have run it recently.
Dude, no one was near JRX's level.
It's JRX's most played.
Wow.
Here's the solution for NiP. It feels awkward in combination with the Ursa, but this is your team fight reply.
I don't know about that one.
Isn't that weird?
It's a nice counter pick to the Lifestealer. It's like the traditional counter.
Yeah.
It's very weird, but
I hate it with Ursa. I hate when you have
that's what I said.
double melee core that are both.
I also hate it against Coddle.
Yes.
He literally
Tyler,
could drop the Will-O-Wisp inside of the Chronosphere, and he can blast you out of your own Chrono.
Yeah. All right, no, I think we were saying the same thing there, buddy.
I don't know if I like that either, though. It's all right.
I really wanted to be a
not?
4-position Monkey King. For multiple reasons, but mostly just for Kyle being so out of
I'm scared.
That's what I'm saying.
This lineup just is kind of weird, right?
But I mean,
this is why I can't make hot takes.
Your 4-position Monkey King, like Ion shelled up, jumping from tree to tree, just creating chaos.
It fits better with the draft than the idea of like a mid-monkey, like triple melee core against Void. Just feels weird.
Exactly.
Maybe they're trying to like bait the matchup, see if they can get like a Viper to come out from NiP, and then they grab like Invoker.
I will say you probably do need to ban OD as OG. Like I worry about OD dumping damage into the Chronosphere.
And right now they also part of why I love Lich. It's this concept of like double save, right? Yeah, Frost Armor isn't save, but it's close enough. And you combine that with an Astral, it's very easy now to counter-initiate or peel the Lifestealer during Rage, and then all of a sudden, he's chronoed, or there's a Rasta shackling him, and an Ursa just...
NiP, by the way, thinks that this is going to be a last pick JRX support, and they have done that. OG have last pick JRX as hero in half of their drafts in this tournament. They're the only team to have done that.
NiP have no Wave Clear, and OG have a Darkseer.
Yep.
And a
wow.
Point.
And a Monkey King. They've actually got 3 different heroes that are exceptionally good at low cost, clearing through creep waves.
That's not a good point. That's the point right now, because you are all in now on Avoid Chronosphere, and you have no way to convert objectives other than the Shadow Shaman. The waves are going to be pushed.
And you can tell Cap's been hanging out.
Wave clear.
Wave clear.
It works in my pubs.
What do you think about Storm Spirit?
Bad hero, man. Ice Frog's just not giving him enough buffs.
Is Oracle still on the table here?
For OG?
Radiant team pick.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, the other thing is you also think about picking the Oracle to protect the Darkseer in case they do something crazy.
Sorry, I just realized. Red Eye's Dumbledore, right? You were 100% Mad Eye Moody. That part.
Wasn't he a fake?
What?
10
You're
seconds.
British.
No.
How do you not know Harry Potter?
Mad Eye Moody
was a fake.
Was a real
he was real, but he got
stuff.
replaced.
For one book. There were
book.
sequels.
This is real life.
Okay, let's talk about the actual draft. Is this OD?
Into Oracle, it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
It could be a TA, but it's a bit weird against Darkseer and Monkey.
That's the problem with the Oracle pick, is I think it makes OD even better.
I think you can just Kunkka.
That's true too.
Just give me some cheap catch.
Are we looking for a fatter hero though?
Oh, it's true.
So it'd be like a Viper?
Yeah,
exactly.
I think OD makes sense.
You are now going to get that Viper matchup against the Monkey King that we thought we were going to have last year.
Bristle.
No,
I mean,
he does.
The reason
Fada loves Pugna.
I was down for Viper earlier, but the whole wave clear thing caused me issues. I like Pugna, but then there's the Oracle problem.
DK? I mean,
yeah.
I still pivot back to OD. I think OD's the best pick here.
There you go.
Choose your hero.
Nahaz is on fire.
Kyle is literally right now.
Kyle is literally in awe right now of the man on the end of the bench.
I don't think he is, Paul, but
that's why he's the defense against the dark arts
teacher. He looked at you with
teacher.
admiration when you called the Oracle.
That's why he's the Aura.
True.
That's beautiful, Cap.
Great draft. Cap, thoughts? Where does the power lay?
I don't know, man. I feel like NiP's lineup, it just looks like very slow to me. We've got this Void, OD, not a ton of wave clear. I feel like OG's just going to play faster than them.
Yep.
And OG has been playing, they've been playing really well, and they haven't been making tons of mistakes. If this was a different team that we were talking about, if this was, like some of the teams that we've already seen drop out, I would say there's going to be a mistake and NiP will make the comeback. But I don't think OG will make that mistake.
I got to agree. I think that OG's just been playing better. This draft seems to be right in their comfort zone.
Yep.
I look at the NiP lineup, it's like, it's cool, but you've really just odd, it feels like errors. Yeah, like your supports are really squishy.
Yep.
There isn't much support for the Chrono. OD doesn't really help that much with the wave clear. It could, you know, they'll outscale OG, don't get me wrong, but if they can play as fast as they've been doing early in the tournament, I think OG will take it.
I think Cap nailed it, word for word.
I changed my mind. Get me out. Going to the other side.
He doesn't want to ruin it.
It's going to be a bad laning phase.
He's been on the money. You should stick with
own the laning phase, and they're going to keep going.
He's been on the money in this draft. You should stick with him. Right, we're ready, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to your seats. A wild ride ahead of us, I'm sure, for us and for the teams as we go into the game with NiP versus OG.
This was over before it started. Very good. I want to do that.
Thank you very much, Red Eye. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for the final series of the day, and what a series it is. Ninjas in Pyjamas up against OG. I'm OD Pixel, I'll be joined by Fog for this one.
Hello.
We've got the drafts, we've already got some exciting heroes. We have the Void picked up. We've sort of seen some teams dabble with him, but he's not one of the top tier carries at the moment. NiP, though, they say it will work this time. The panel seemed a little against it. What do you think? Is this a strong Void game?
A shocker. Owen saying, exciting heroes, the Faceless Void. Not something you'd really expect to say, obviously, right? Other, I mean, fun stuff is probably still just the Oracle, right? Oracle from the last series.
Right,
last
we have
series, he
seen
just looked so good.
Yeah, some crazy Oracle performances.
And Jarek's also in the beginning of the today too. He played a phenomenal Oracle already. And they even mentioned it themselves, right? That when they did the interview, Mad was like, Jarek's Oracle, he's really damn strong in the game. So right away, they're starting with a aggro position tri-lane to try to secure the room. Soxo will actually get it.
Because, I mean, considering the cores that we have on both sides, there's a lot of sort of strong matchups that we'll see go either way in the mid game. You look at things, like the Lifestealer, you say, okay, he's going to get on top of the OD, but then you look at the Void, you're going to say he's going to get on top of the Lifestealer. It sort of goes back and forth between the two teams. So what are you really looking for in the early stages of the game to sort of see one team set themselves ahead of the other? Is there a specific lane that could really go one-sided?
I'm looking to see how much the Noto can protect ILTW, because the last game that I saw this Ursa versus the Lifestealer, KP was able to put so much pressure on him in the laning phase, and he has a Lich to help him too, so watching that top one to see how much NiP can put the pressure onto OG and if they can actually handle it. While on the opposing side, you see OG, they're prioritizing putting the pressure onto the Void a bit, and Void, he'll be able to do just fine down here, farming and sustaining versus that Ion Shell.
We'll see what sort of build Ace goes for this game as well on the Faceless Void. See if there's going to be that temptation from Midas, as it is seeming to be the Midas age on a lot of these carries. Void may be one that you still want to stray away from the meta Midas build on. Bit of a PPD pause, but of course talking about the players, what a game in terms of rivalries. PPD versus Seb, one of the age-old international rivalries that will never sell. You know, these guys, they like to keep it professional, but you know that when they're playing against each other, they're going to bring their best.
Oh, for sure. Look at this. We received a billion tips coming out, lots of chat wheels. It is what it is.
A bit of a chant coming up for the crowd as well for OG, and good reason to believe in them after what we saw earlier today. NiP, they've certainly shown in the past that the right sort of lineup, they can really come in with some star-studded performances, even sort of classic matchups like having PPD on his Lich. This has been a hero that he has played a lot over the last few months.
Yeah, he's playing into a Dispel is the one thing. The Frost Shield is incredibly powerful, but the Oracle is there to be able to Dispel that throughout the mid-game and also block out a lot of that magic damage too. That's the one thing, is like this Oracle just seems to be such a threatening hero. In the defensive aspect, of course. I mean, it does do a lot of damage as well once you start getting your levels, but you're more about just, of course, it's getting those saves off. And looking into OG, they can actually set the pace pretty hard here. I look at NiP's lineup, and it can be quite slow. Yeah. They are very reliant for their damage to be coming out of the Void, as well as the OD being there with both of them. If not, they need the Lich to be like level 6 and be able to throw the Chain Frost inside of the Chrono. Otherwise, they don't really have any damage going inside of it.
Yeah, it's going to get to the point where you look at the cores of NiP and say, what's going to enable them? Sure, they're going to have the Frost Shield, but then you compare that to what JerAx's toolkit can offer, and it just doesn't match how much save the Oracle can provide. And the fact that these two heroes, they've already sort of, they can obviously stand toe-to-toe with enemy cores well on their own. You've obviously got the Jingu building up on the Monkey King, the Lifesteal on the Lifestealer. You add any sort of False Promise on top of that onto either of them, you know that they're going to pop out of the False Promise at full HP.
Yeah, like sometimes like versus Chrono is kind of one of those weird ones sometimes with Oracle because you ult them, but they don't get out of the disable, right?
Sure.
Like for
so they're
versus
still going to take a lot of damage.
But like you just said, the situations could happen where you have your Jingus up and you get a boundless strike right afterwards, and then the heal kicks in.
Yeah.
Or let's say the Lifestealer finds a target to infest. Boom, resets, gets that big health after the False Promise and the Chrono. Could be something we have to watch out for. And I think that's, you know, we're talking about how the slow pace of NiP could be a bit troublesome for them. That's why I think 33 is super crucial for them in this game, how much pressure you can put onto this safe lane. An extended pause, we have some audio issues.
Of course, one of the strengths with the offlane Ursa, as we have seen previous teams, one performance that comes to mind, of course, when Zai played it offlane for Secret, it very much is this hero that even if, as you say, ideally, you don't want to put pressure in the laning stage, but you can sort of bring yourself back into it. You can turn towards the neutral creeps. It doesn't matter if you don't get any farm, particularly on the hero at the start. It is a hero that we have seen some of these players at this level be able to catch back up on after being zoned out of the laning stage.
This won't be one of those zones. I mean, he's got just Coddle life still. He's got Lich, and he's in like the dream lane for himself here.
He's prepared with the regen. He's got 6 tangos in the south. He's, as you say, good to go, good to stay.
I want him to do the. I want him to do the. I think I do want him to do the blink in this game. I know 33. He hasn't really gone for it in most of his games. He's gone like the phase, the Midas, even like a Vanguard, or even like another item before doing.
He does love his drums as well.
Yeah, maybe the drum. I'm still okay with phase drum. I'm still fine with that. I just want him to be able to get an item. They'll let him just put the pressure on to give his Void and his OD the time to get their farm up. Because, like you said, it could be a Midas gaming.
I'm talking about the OD. So, Fada, in an ideal world, this game is he going to want to get the Midas first, or does he have to get sort of one of those, you know, like the 4-star a little earlier on because of what he's playing against? Or will he be able to get away with the greedier build?
Not too sure. I think he might be able. It all depends on how the laning starts go, right? Like if Ursa's getting shut down, he might be able to get something that can give him a bit of a timing first or earlier, so he can actually get involved. But I think the Midas could be okay.
Once again, just apologies for the pause. Hopefully we will be able to get things underway pretty shortly. Looks like we are just fixing a few of the issues on NiP's side, as it seems. It looks like OG are more than ready to get back on with the game.
Yep. We see that OG had blocked the hard camp as well in that bottom lane when they're doing the, you know, cutting of the waves with the Darkseer. We've been seeing that pretty common now. Whenever you do that, make sure you can't fix the equilibrium or pull the enemy creeps into there and get the extra farm. They want to be able to try to maximize down here and get 7.
And is there any other sort of thing that like, who's going to be able to be more mobile across the map in the laning stage? Whose moves are going to be the most crucial? Is there any way we can see sort of ganks onto mid from either side? Are you looking for sort of the Shaman to start leaving his lane, Saxa to get in on top of the Monkey King mid?
I think maybe he could actually, yeah. Because you can set up pretty easily. He can set it up with Astral.
A couple of disables.
I don't think he needs to walk there, but if there's an opportunity where he can set up an Astral and then Sox can TP and then just walk in with the Shackle, I think that's better. But I think he wants to stay down here for a bit just to make sure that they don't like... Because what's going to happen is they're going to cut the wave for a while, right? Until they're level 3 probably on the Darkseer, and then they're going to start pressuring with the Ion Shell rather than just cutting. So he wants to stay down here just to make sure that the Void can get the... Yeah, having the TP for the ganks.
And this, because the Void, he is going to get good farm, right? If they cut the wave like this, Ace, he shouldn't really be feeling too bothered about farming underneath the tower.
No, definitely. It's just once those levels come, right? Because at one point the Darkseer won't just do this. He will play. He's going to get back in the lane and start, and you get the Iron Shell creeps heading in your direction. At that point, we may see more movements towards that bottom lane to provide that extra bit of backup. We'll see how much PPD feels he's going to be needed in this top lane. Maybe there's going to be a point where 33 is at a stage where he can sort of stand toe-to-toe to this dual lane on his own. As you said already, not really the scariest of lanes for the top lane Ursa. 33 should be able to get away with quite a bit up on this top. Seems like we are still just having some slight problems. Sure, they're not NiP, they look ready to go. Yeah, they just said those audio issues, right? So they missed anything. Sharing of regen or sharing of ring of regen or anything. I've seen some of the game.
Still very early, of course. We've only got ourselves a minute in. Not really too much that has happened in that minute. Just no sign of a first blood.
Lots like the blocking of the camps, right? You see PPD but walk to body block full camp. They block the hard camp bottom with the ward. So
I mean, where will we see first blood? Which is the lane?
Where do we see first blood?
Yeah,
You got
we're
me
getting
for
to
some
that point.
predictions there.
Some
All right.
prediction.
Well, could watch for maybe he steps up too far versus this Lich when.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, with the
that's
Ursa and the
probably
Lich,
the
if
biggest
they
one.
can get past LTW.
Yeah. I think this top lane is probably.
But I mean, for the most part, Notel's just going to be sending blasts out from the trees, isn't he?
Yeah,
Like, there's
it's
no
just if he
reason
gets
for him
found,
to.
Right.
He's sure.
Needy, but yeah, Lich can Frostburst plus. Well, it's like level 2. When level 2 happens, we'll probably see the pressure come out in the top lane. Wait, what is that? How did you have a question?
I don't know, he had a pretty cool emote there.
Is that a medal?
You guys don't see it.
Is that if you're not Is that if you don't have a rank?
It did. It's the rank medal, but
It's the
without
rank medal, just a question
medal
mark though.
Well, Sax spamming some in-theme Shadow Shaman emotes. Some dropping Best Frog. So it just seems like we do apparently still have some audio issues with some of the players.
Poor defense.
So Owen, now we get to ask you, how does this look as a Void game?
As a
the
Void
OD
game?
as the professional.
Pretty damn good.
You like it?
I think this is a pretty good Void game. You're
You
playing
don't mind the
against-
coddle?
It's 2 melee cores. Yeah, you're gonna get a BKB. Okay, and sort of at that point, you're not gonna worry too much about it. Sure, the Oracle is annoying, but at the same time, you know, you're gonna go for these chronos. You know, Oracle's gonna save 1. You don't chrono 1 person. You make sure that you always get 2, so that you can just kill the target that's not gonna be saved. You're gonna have a bit of a poke up the first target. You can expect Jarex to come in with a save because he's not only gonna do it quite early. He doesn't need to wait. It's what, an 8-second false promise duration. It's already going to outdo the duration of the chrono. So, you know, whoever he's going to go on, as you say, afterwards, they're going to be able to boundless strike.
Maybe.
They'll have some lifesteal a little bit.
Hopefully.
It's unlikely
We'll
you're going to be
see.
able to disable them further than that unless the Shaman's there to follow your chronosphere up.
What if he just gets Fate's Edict in the chrono?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway,
That could
don't
be a
worry.
very scary one too.
We are, as I said,
There are a
once
couple.
again, we are waiting for some issues to be fixed, but we'll be able to break up a bit of nice 7 fog chatting as we will actually send you over to Shiva, who has apparently an interview going with some of you beautiful people out there in the audience.
Is it spring already? This pleases the master. This pleases the master. Is it spring already?
Very good.
This pleases the master. This pleases the master. A poor defense.
Thank you very much, Steve. And I've just had word that apparently the game is good to go. I'm not going to believe it until I've seen my screen unpause in front of me. And I can tell you right now, it is still paused. So, you know, I don't know how much we trust the ESL production team, but I will trust them.
I see Fada saying wait, though.
Oh, an hotel drops an okay, but it's still paused. I believe we have been debated by the producer. So we're just waiting, apparently, for the go-ahead from the boys on NiP. And then we should be able to get back on with the action after this brief pause.
I'm just reading my tips right now.
What have we got? Anything?
If all enemy heroes have vanished from the minimap, maybe they try to slay Roshan or set up an ambush. Pretty useful tip.
Tips. We've seen many a team recently give up Roshans when they've not realized what's going on.
The Guardian Greaves were forged to honor the Omniscience. Ooh.
So apparently we are still good to go soon. Again, big apologies to everybody who's here. You guys and girls are all very beautiful for coming down and watching this event live. Hopefully we can get you some Dota 2 action on very, very shortly. And when we do, it's going to be an amazing series. I'm sure, you know, it's going to be worth the wait.
Looks like they're final testing.
Let's see what's going on. PPD, he puts his hands up. He's what's going on here. The OG seems still very much good to go. I can tell you there's just been consistent spamming of many audio clips and
lots of celebratory gongs.
Yeah, so it seems to be ILTW's favorite.
He's even typing it now. Notel's actually just typing it at this point.
Notel's being cheap. He
instead of chat wheeling it,
this was one that you had to get from the recent...
Yes.
The recent, whatever you call it, the past.
Yes.
the one to do with the Chinese New Year. So it looks like N0tail didn't actually. It's a bit of a weak attempt for him to seem cool and join in with the others.
That is true, actually.
What we got here? Looks like PPD still having words with the on-stage lads and ladies as we're getting it fixed up.
They said go again. Let's see.
They said go.
NiP.
We're checking if NiP is ready to go.
One more moment, they said.
And OG looked very ready. N0tail, he's in the zone. He's ready to kick off. The fingers coming out from PPD. He's pointing at Ace. So we're going to blame Ace for this pause. Thumbs up, yeah.
Thumbs up.
PPD agrees. He says, yeah, it's all Ace's fault.
There we go. We got the okay, we got the ready.
Oh,
let's go.
It's counting down. I think we can get the game back on. Just don't show these, but get it back on. Here we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen.
And as the unpause happens,
just a short pause.
Topson secured a range creep last hit and got a range creep deny in the mid lane as that unpause
We're back in.
happened.
The year is 2034. We've got game one begin. NiP versus OG is back on, and we can see how this one goes down.
So as you mentioned, we watch N0tail, and he is literally just spamming in the side lane, making sure that they can not put the pressure on and try to make any dive plays. Just keep that lane pressure pushed away, so that if they try to push up, it's a bit scary for them, because the level advantage will be there for OG as they are clearing the creep waves faster over and over again.
Interesting stat there, of course, between Seb and PPD. 61% win rate for PPD, but 3 for 3 on LAN between the two. So with a 3 for 3 LAN win rate at the moment for both of them, we'll see who's able to break ahead in this LAN matchup.
JerAx will be able to make it out as well. Double TPs.
Okay, so there's a bit of time that they're pushed out of the lane, so they can turn back to farming down there on the bottom end NiP without any too much worry about OG getting the pressure on. We'll see where JerAx does head, as he's going to decide to, of course, walk back to a lane.
They've got the boots now on 33. He's still got a lot of regen too. We're going to see N0tail. Now he starts stepping up, giving a little bit more harassment, but with this Ursa already having those boots, he feels a lot safer up here to be left alone, and they can bring the tri-lane to make sure he can not only just secure Ace's farm, because he's already farming great, but is just slow down Seb.
You can see it middle lane. Even CS at the moment between Topson and Fada.
I take what I please.
Saw that one coming.
As I mean, is this expected to be even, or at a certain point does sort of the OD win out because he has got that range factor?
He starts to, after like level 4, I think is the crucial thing for most OD matches.
Then sort of the damage is just too much as a melee hero to stand toe-to-toe with him.
It still is already annoying. Like, you keep getting hit by those, but you just keep your, especially with the Monkey, you use your boundless a lot.
He does that. He's got the Mischief to dodge one at the Arcane Orbs. Top lane 33, trying to get the stacks up on RTW, but he's also rather low himself. 2 tangos left. He's going to pop one of them. Does still have a salve, but he is getting through that regen with the harassment coming out from N0tail earlier on. N0tail as well, getting a small camp stacked up, will be able to make a good pull happen.
Yeah, he's going to pull the whole creep wave back, so now that's going to put 33 in a little bit of a more difficult position to get experience, even though he's level 3 with the boots, so he might still be okay. He's also got TP and not having a really stun in that top lane while he'll always be able to get out of there anyway. Aggressive move.
Bottom lane, as expected, Ace having no trouble at all. Now we'll start to see it step up a little bit. Seb, of course, as he has come back to the lane rather than looking to continue to skip it. Can start to begin that Iron Shell pressure against Ace's Void. 33 as well, also coming in, trying to get involved with this pull that was being made by N0tail earlier.
Defensive glyph that was used by the mid lane to stop a range creep last hit, and it will get denied by Topson there. So a couple range creep denies that Topson's gotten there just by playing aggressive and forcing a spell out of Fada. And Fada's actually running out of mana a bit here. The Mischief, you always have to count that in there. Just the little dodges do add up. It's 33, putting pressure on N0tail up top.
He's coming round underneath the tower. He does get one hit on RTW, who goes for a poke, TP's out. A little bit of aggression there from 33. Has to go back to the base anyway, as he had then eaten through his entirety of regeneration. He's bottom, and with the shackles, they do have PPD coming in as well with the slow. Seb, he does not have mana to get out of this one, so he'll fall. NiP take the kill down bottom, as Seb sticks around a little too long, a little too low on the health of the mana.
Yeah, he really had no mana. He threw out the last Ion Shell too. I think he just accepted his death and deal with it. They have been stacking a lot of camps. I've been seeing JerAx stacking for the Darkseer. This is something that Darkseers used to do. I know Kyle actually mentioned it a couple times during his casts that he was talking about this, that he was hoping that people would start doing this, and we are starting to see it now. OG is going to start boosting up that net worth of the Darkseer with these stacks. It's that old school approach.
He's getting a good chase onto N0tail here. The Earthshock slow. A couple more hits would do it, but ILTW will slow him down with the open wounds. N0tail turns, charges up a blast. 33 is able to dodge it. He has now drawn the attention of the creep wave and will be able to make the pull. Should be able to get himself away as, yeah, there's no further slow or disable between these two heroes. So 33, actually the wave is going to get interrupted by the neutral creep, so he won't quite be able to grab it all the way back to a safe place to farm. So OG able to maintain lane control for now in that position. Back towards mid. Sanity's Eclipse dropped down onto top, so will not quite kill him off though. And a quick tip sent back the way of Fada for that failed ult. 5 minutes in though, with the free farm Ace has got it. He has got that Midas at pretty record timing here before the 6-minute mark. The absolute dream as he was able to get it without having to go for any sort of boots or any other item. This is a very, very quick Midas for Ace.
Not even any extra regen or anything. He literally just went straight for it, so...
No surprise there at all. Yeah, it is a new record in these 14 matches. Okay. Yeah, 27 seconds faster.
And we were talking about how, will we see the double Midases coming out? Will we see the OD also get it? We have seen Fada also get it. Yeah. So they want to be going for that late game as expected.
I think it's the way to do it. It's the way to do it.
Right, look at their lineup. Their draft is incredibly strong late game. They've got a Void. You always have to be looking at a Void lineup and being like, yeah, they've got the late game secured.
Yeah, you've got a Void and you don't, I mean, there's not, where's the disable? It's going to pretty much be the Cottle ult that there's going to be a point of the game where Ace has to worry about it the most. For the majority of the time, he is going to be able to sit back, jump in with the Chrono, and it's going to be very hard for OG to put a stop to that sort of Void play. Top lane, looking to dive in onto 33, will get hit by the blast, but it has got the creep wave with him, and also PPD by his side, so ILTW can't dive any further.
Oh wow, they're putting a lot of emphasis on this top tower though. Jarex has come over and placed 2 wards actually to watch behind the tower and to watch any rotations. So they really want to surround this. And look at this, Thompson's even making the rotation over.
Jarex in deep, PPD's there. Thompson diving forward, gets the stuff onto PPD. PPD will back off. 33, he has got the frost shield upon him. Thompson, he's going deep for this with the boundless track. Will get the Jingle Mastery stacks up. It was bringing him with the Sinister Gate, but he gets one more hit off to get the kill. And OG will get both of those there with that aggressive play, sweeping round behind that tier 1 tower very early on.
They're going for this extremely greedy items on both the OD as well as the Void. They don't even TP to try to respond to help out their allies there. They just accept the dive that it's going to happen, and they're going to try to get something out of it on their own. They're going to try pressuring the mid tower a bit here and just continuing the farm.
And talking about the opposite of those greedy items, Mr. ILTW, who's going for the old school on the Lifestealer. Phase into Armlet. No Midas today, ladies and gentlemen, for this Lifestealer.
That is a very good point, yeah. He's got it finished up already.
He's got it. He's got the armlet on its way. Yeah, he has. Yeah, right. He's got the helmet as well.
He'll have it soon.
He'll have it soon.
Yeah. Thompson staying around the top lane, as we mentioned, you know, versus that OD. He doesn't want to stay in the lane anymore. It gets pretty problematic as Fada has pulled ahead.
Boundless. Over Thompson. Dealing to poke and prod, but as we say, with RTW going towards this armlet, very much indicating that they want to play a much different pace of game compared to what NiP are bringing to the fray. And we'll see if it pays off. I mean, as you mentioned earlier, if OG's lineup does start to steamroll that little bit quicker, you reckon it's going to be quite hard for NiP to slow it down?
Yeah, should be. The thing is, they do have the Lich, the Frost Shield can always slow stuff down. But that's the way NiP wants to play this game. They want to slow the pace down. They want to take this to the later stages. That's why they're going to get multiple Midases.
Very interesting stat there as well. Lich and Void 6 times this patch. Hasn't lost a game. Hero combination.
Old school classic. But this now it's even better because Lich is a billion times better of a hero. As it's going to be the double farming, by the way, for Ace. If you saw, the Battle Fury was queued up, so... And he's committed.
Oh, this is the right build.
And he's committed already for it.
This guy knows. Midas and Battle Fury, that is absolutely how you want to do it. It's full greed, but if it works, if you can get the payoff is huge. He is going to be incredibly farmed come sort of the 20-minute mark, but he's got to get there. And in 10 minutes time, maybe OG's put the game in a state where this sort of Midas Battle Fury looks a little weak. We'll see. We'll see if they can create the space, keep the game going in a level state to allow this Midas Battle Fury build to pay off on Ace.
OG needs to get the ball rolling with kills, though. That's the thing. As you look at their lineup, it's not like they get the ball rolling with kills into towers, into objectives and stuff. They don't take objectives very well on their lineup.
Gonna see a TP up to the top here from the Shaman. Let's see if they can get on top of ILTW. ILTW does have N0tail heading in for PPD. Got to slow down N0tail a little bit with the Frost Shield.
3 bounties for NiP.
And also Fada able to grab the double damage ring.
I think he's got his... Does he have his Midas finished?
He's got it done.
They've got both of their Midas finishes.
They're hitting these Midas timings. So
very
far,
early on.
10 minutes in, you've got a lineup with 2 Midases, and they're even in net worth with the opposition, and OG themselves, they're not going for any Midases at all. So at the moment, you've got to kind of say, well, NiP's plan, it's working out. 10 minutes in, there's only been 3 kills. This sort of passive slow game is going to be fantastic for this Void and OD.
Yeah, especially when they have a Tricore. It's a Void and OD, but there's also an Ursa thrown in there too, who can also have quite an impact, especially when you're playing versus a hero like Lifestealer.
Yeah.
That's what Ursa likes to play versus. That's why they picked it. It looks like they are going to start making rotations down bottom. Armlet is finished.
They've got to do stuff with this. If you're getting the Armlet on the Lifestealer, we have to see ILTW play it in an entirely different way to how we've been used to watching Lifestealers play with the Midas Radiance builders. Bottom lane, they're going to hunt for him with the wall drop down. They'll find him with a boundless strike, as Ace has been caught on top of. He's got a time warp back up in a second. Will be able to dodge the blast, but wide they go, clearing out the trees there with the Will-O-Wisp. They'll find Ace. He's got another time warp, but he won't get a chance to use it as the Purifying Flames finishes him off.
You forget how many trees that ulti really does cut. It just clears everything.
The deforestation is real. Is back towards mid. Saxus shackling to open up on Jarex. Jarex gets the chance for the false promise. And Saxus and PPD will have to back away. Down bottom, ILTW looking for the chase down onto Fuddy for the open wounds. Thompson's there with a boundless strike. The blast as well. Fudder is gone. OG making these moves around the map as a team. They're playing, as I say, this Lifestealer role totally different to how we're used to seeing it, and it's starting to help them get in positions where they can look to take these early objectives.
Mid lane, looks like they're going to set up for Jarex here quite easily. They'll be able to pick that up. I'm not too sure why Fada was bottom, trying to defend after that whole surround happened.
And Ace Day gets to get. I've got to feel a bit bad for it. Did get a single bash though on the board, so a little unlucky there for Ace, but he doesn't mind. He did the job, got the kill. We're starting to be able to save a little money as well down bottom, where he died by the side shop. He was able to buy the treads just as he died, so managed to minimize gold loss there. It does obviously mean he's going to have to wait a little longer to finish off that battle, Fury. Got 1100 gold at the moment. Saxer and PPD there by Ace's side, so ILTW not have to lead anything in. They might see an opportunity to go on Saxer if Saxer sticks around in the middle lane, but looks like he's playing it safe. He realizes that ILTW shows very likely that Thompson's going to be behind him because of how OG are playing.
And just because of how OG's been playing. Just when Thompson's been playing on this Monkey King, he's a lot more active. That's just the style that he's been playing for quite a while now too. And NiP, they're setting up now in the mid lane.
They are. They have got a Chronosphere as well, so they're more than happy to try and fight. ILTW pops the rage. Ace, he's got the Chronosphere down onto the 2 cores. Jarex is outside of it, doesn't have false points. In fact, Jarex walks into it, so he hasn't got anything to throw out straight away. The Sanity's Eclipse comes down. The Shackle's there as well to control ILTW. They've killed the Lifestealer. See if they can find anything else. 33 still trying to poke, will now have to back off. Seb also dropped down the wall, so a few ults traded, but NiP get the kill on the Lifestealer and lose nothing themselves.
A lot of ults committed, the Serpent Wards as well, so they can actually push up and get an objective out of it. It's down to 200 HP, but the Oracle ulti, Jarex having to force out himself to save himself. It's a 100-second cooldown
they read
level
that
1, so they didn't have it up still.
Yeah, the NiP knew, and they were quick to make a move to punish that. It's mid lane, seeing if they can catch up PPD. Boundless strike from Thompson. Surge forward. Fada will be able to hold him back. They'll pop the Will-O-Wisp down. It clips onto Fada for now. They're blasting back into it. Do they have the damage and control to kill him though? They've got to be careful because 33 turns up. Seb has to surge himself away. Back towards the mid. Shackles out onto Jarex. He's underneath the tower. He'll pop the false promise onto Thompson. But Ace jumps forward. Beats down on the Oracle. They've had the Astral as well to contain another potential kill as they hold back Thompson. Thompson will burst to the damage as NiP hit back to the aggression of OG and now get themselves on top slightly in the net worth. They're not being punished for these Midases despite how hard OG are trying. OG cannot get ahead for now.
And they showed up with everybody. They see OG, they're like, all right, you're going to bring 4 or 5 heroes. We'll bring 4 or 5 heroes too. They're still very powerful, even if they don't have their ultimates, because OG didn't have their ults either. And they committed very far for that dive.
It's got to be a little bit of a worry for OG if they're not getting away with the entirety of these sort of aggressive plays.
You see Thompson's net worth. He's bottom 5. He's about 1,000 gold behind the Ursa, which is the off lane for NiP. And we will see it's 33 is doing the phase drum, and he's just going to go for the Basher, the build that he's been doing instead of going for that Blink. They're getting away with the Midases, so he doesn't need to be making plays. He can just play responsive like the way he has been versus OG. They are setting up for a smoke. They have Serpent Wards available, so they want to try to get a tower off of it this time.
They've even got the Chronosphere back up in 20 seconds. We'll be up sort of 10-second window where there's no false promise, but you'd imagine that it is highly likely that Jarex will have it back up by the time they actually find a play to be attempted. They're trying to see if they can kick things off here, but they don't get on top of NiP. They know that they can't just jump on them. NiP's lineup, it's pretty scary, as you say. Even though they have these Midases, it's not an easy 5v5 at all for OG to take. They sort of have to rely on catching out NiP 1v1. Saxa, he's ready to farm. He pops down the Serpent Walls to clear out an Ancient stack. He doesn't even care. He knows that this game's feeling pretty comfortable for NiP. They're getting away with the greed.
Yeah, it's a farming game. That's what this one's going to be. At least from the side of NiP mostly. We see OG, they're going to be doing, this is the old build that we saw Matumba Man do a lot of times when he was playing the Lifestealer for Liquid actually mid lane first, 33, get it done.
That's got the Enrage. Down the Will-O-Wisp, they will be able to drag him back a little bit. The Enrage wears off, but he's out of the range of it. On the high ground, Thompson is looking for a Wukong's command opportunity. Now pop it out, see if he's got the follow control onto them, but he hasn't. As again, NiP just walk out of the teamfight ultimates. Now they'll turn with the shackles down onto Seb. Seb, he'll fall, burst down by the Ether Shock. They've lost the Darkseer, and they still have that Chrono NiP, so if they find anyone else to catch, they'll go for it. But again, it's OG with these 5 heroes focused on this area in the mid lane. NiP react.
5 heroes.
You got to ask yourself, what are OG trying to do? They're coming in with the Will-O-Wisp, the Wukong's command. They're just walking out of it, NiP. OG just can't start the fight that they're hunting.
Like we mentioned though, they want to force the issue. That's what they're trying to do. NiP's prepared for it on every single one of those fronts. Time after time. And I was mentioning, the Lifestealer, he's going for a different type of build. Like we mentioned, it's a lot of times with that Midas Radiance. He's going back for an old school build. The Armlet into the Desolator. Because they don't have that tower push. They don't have that objective taking like we're mentioning. This allows the Lifestealer to kind of be that.
So it's a risk to take going for this build. There is a reason why that Midas Radiance has become the build that you're used to seeing every game on a Lifestealer. Top lane, they'll find an opportunity to jump in onto Thompson. They've got the Chrono into all the lockdown they need from Saxa. A Hex and a Shackle will mean no chance for Thompson to get out of this one. And again, getting a little unlucky with the bashes. Takes a lot of time to kill him, but it's so much lockdown between these two. If there's no one else behind Thompson, there's no chance he gets out.
And it's a Battle Fury now for Ace. Midas Battle Fury treads 17 minutes. Nice. Also level 13 already on the Void.
Oh, it's beautiful. He's going to be so far.
Yeah, lineup that scales so incredibly well in the late game, already off to an incredible timing as PPD. Looks like he will be the sacrifice here as it's a D ward. But he will die.
He will. Slowly but surely. And Jarek says, hurry up, RTW. I'll take that one from you. You're able to get the kill secure with the Purifying Flames.
PPD tips him too.
They will finally get a tier 1 tab, but it really does feel 18 minutes in. OG, they've been trying to do this. They've only taken 2 tier 1s away from a very farm-heavy lineup, which is the same amount of towers that NiP have now managed to take, as they will take the top, as they've also taken the middle. No surprise here. 1 minute and 41 seconds faster than average. You can imagine as well, in those average games, that's probably Void without a Midas. Yeah, this is a Void with a Midas into the Battle Fury. If you can get away with a Midas at that quick timing, sure, it will help you accelerate the build. But it's a risk that not a lot of Void players want to take.
And the really nice thing about these Midases is sometimes, I mean, not most of the time it is really good because it's on these core heroes, but it's on 2 heroes that need attack speed.
Oh, yeah.
OD and Faceless Void, they lack attack speed a lot of the time, so this will be very excellent for them to just get scaled up from that. This 40 attack speed is so much.
We're seeing towards the mid again. I mean, I feel like we've been here before. OG with their 5 heroes just trying the best to take this tier 1 tower. Or should we down? They do get denied as well by Fada.
Do you see how 33's playing this? Since he went this phase drum build, and you look at the rest of his lineup, they're fairly squishy besides him. He's just acting as that frontliner. He's like, hey, come at me and go, because if you go on me, I have Enrage, and not only do I have Enrage, I have an Astral behind me too. I have multiple ways to save me, and also Frost Shield too, in case OG does try to make the threat. So he's just standing there parking himself in front of the towers.
LTW does now have the Desolator complete.
He does.
So if they can get him on top of an opponent, he does do, of course, a lot of damage, considering this point. Again, 19 minutes, having the Armlet, the Desolator, but that's the problem, sort of getting him on a target. There's a lot of things that they've got to be careful about, a lot of saves.
They have the Infest, though. That's the nice thing about the Monkey King. He does give you another avenue of just getting on top of units in the fight, but
there's so many, and they're prepared for this every single time. Shackles is going to be there to the Will-O-Wisp will be dropped down as they're pulling Saxa and Fada. Vacuum as well, they've killed off Saxa. Wukong's command down to Fada, stuck in the middle of it. They'll go for the defensive Astral, but OG should have a good shot of finishing him off as well as they do. This time OG will come out top with the trade. They're able to look for the fight. NiP were sort of pseudo-prepared for it. They were hanging around, but they weren't able to turn it.
And with the Deso build, you can maybe even try for Roche. It looks like they were questioning doing it there. they walked in for a second, but yeah, never mind. They changed their
still
mind.
wouldn't be that quick though.
Yeah, it makes it a bit
And there's
faster,
still a
though,
chronosphere.
but- Yeah, exactly.
It's spooky, but I could, yeah, as you say, considering how close it is, they would have definitely considered sort of extreme plays like that.
In the next couple situations, if
They
another
have to.
fight happens, if they get some kills, if they see the death timers are longer, then they can maybe, or if they find a DDO, it's up to it. But this time it was down bottom. But yeah, NiP, they were caught off guard there. They did not expect all the heroes there, and they actually started spam pinging the high ground as if it was OG who had a ward, but it was NiP who did. So it was just very quick reaction by OG and just the combo. Darkseer plus Willow.
And sort of managing to get the OD on the front. That's at this point of the game, that is the majority of the damage that NiP want to be pumping out. Having Fada in a position where he can start smashing on with the arcane orb.
They might have to switch to go for BKBs. Yeah, okay. They just queue them up. So switch to go for BKBs to be able to deal with the Will-O-Wisp, because Coddle is still that monster inside the mid game. In the laning phase, it can be a little bit slow because you're just kind of pushing the lane out to get help your carry farm. But once that mid game hits the Will-O-Wisp, why this hero has been seeing so much attention.
Yeah, because as you say, with the especially having the Ursa, you pop a BKB, you pop the overpower. That's going to be the Will-O-Wisp dead. It's going to be gone.
Yeah, I think it's triple BKBs queued on all cores actually for NiP. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I saw it was being switched a bit between the Manta on the Void, but yeah, they're all just queuing up the BKBs to deal with that. No, it's OG. They're going to start poking the Roach.
Alright, well, NiP, as you say, if NiP do become aware of this, they have got good fight around the pit. They have the Chain Frost, they have the Chronosphere and the Sanity's Eclipse. But it does look like OG are getting away. It's already at half HP, and no one really from NiP in that area of the map. And yeah, this is always huge. You're taking Roshan away from a team that's ahead of you, but also a team that has an Ursa. For the Radiant side, they want to be getting Rosh, and NiP aren't going to have a chance to do so, as OG will take it. They'll get themselves Roshan and get the Aegis on ILTW.
It seemed like, I mean, they weren't pinging it or anything, but it seemed like they almost knew. The way they were just like, all right, let's take a tier 2, and they're just farming.
Yeah,
like,
but
they
it's
didn't have
still
any
weird,
intent
though.
to even try to contest it.
Because of how well they can fight around the pit, but again, maybe it's just the confidence. NiP know that they're still 4k ahead. They know that it's maybe a risk that they don't really need to take. Sure, they have an Aegis. Is that going to make a difference in the fights? Maybe not, because of the team fight that NiP have with the Chronosphere.
I think the call might just be, wait for BKBs. I don't want to fight this.
Yeah.
We'll win this game if we get to late game and we have our BKBs, we have our immunity, we have the scaling factor. We don't need to take these super risky plays. Keep farming, make OG make the mistakes, not us. But now with that Aegis timing, let's see what OG can capitalize on.
They really do have to, because Ace getting very close to having the BKB. Not only that, but the level 18, extra point in the Chronosphere. It's going to be even harder to deal with the extra amount of control that's going to offer in the team fights. 222 CS on Ace in 23 minutes. He is having the Dream Void game. Sure, he's died the once, but getting away with the Midas Battle Fury, he has had all the farm in the world.
And they can just keep stalling, like we were mentioning. They have the Frost Shield, so every single time, PPD, when he feels safe, he'll walk up, put that on the tower to slow down the push, and just keep buying themselves some time as Ace just continues to farm it up, and he'll have the battle, he'll have the BKB pretty much done.
BKB on him and on 33, ready to attend these fights. OG are getting away with take this tier 2. They won't look to fight yet. They'll look to concede that tower. Ping's coming out towards the top as well from OG. They've got the creep wave moving in nicely. So really starting to sort of shut down the top half of NiP's map. Getting these towers and with no confrontation at all for now. Now we are going to see NiP begin to move out. If they have any sort of smoke, they do have those BKBs, as you mentioned.
It has to come all the way out on the courier, though, before we try to go to it. And also, fighting into a high ground here, this type of positioning here versus a Monkey King and a Willow, and a Will-O-Wisp, even if you have those BKBs, can be a bit scary. Sure, the Will-O-Wisp won't matter, but the Monkey King still definitely will, especially because he just picked up that point, the Echo Saber a bit. Also, his damage is pretty high.
Thompson. He's going to start poking at 33. We'll drop the Wukong's command. 33 pops the BKB. Is he able to? And he's able to easily walk out. In fact, just goes for the Invis Rune and the TP away. No, there's nothing else to hold him back. So an ult cooldown traded for a BKB charge.
NiP's just all about stall. All right, stall the game. Wait for that third BKB, wait for Aegis to go away, and then they can look to take fights versus this OG lineup. But Saxa steps a bit far forward, but he will get the Hex on.
See PPD trying to drag ILTW in. ILTW, he's going to go for it with the Rage. Look towards PPD, but even with that Armlet in the Deso against the Frost Shield, it's just not enough damage. Now they'll turn back towards him with the shackles.
NiP's coming.
Vada's going to come in, start to get something in. They have the Hex too. He needs some help here. He's got the range back up. Ace has gone in with a wrap round. Time dilation onto N0tail as he's trying to focus for the easier kills. N0tail blocked the will-o-wisp down, but the bashes come through. Ace, he's killed off the Keeper of the Light. Saxa still being kept alive. There's the Chrono from Ace onto the 2 on the side. The Cleave as well, cutting through them. Sanity's a clean drop down. They've lost 2 on OG. They've lost the Aegis on LTW. The shackles onto Seb. Seb will fall. They'll almost certainly be able to go and kill LTW a second time. He has got the rage. He's looking for Vada, but Vada with the Astral will keep himself safe. RDW is trying to turn towards Saxa, but Saxa still has the mana to turn with the shackles. OG get team wiped.
Oh my. OG going high ground like that, trying to kill the Lich. I mean, PPD just baited ILTW there, and then all of NiP surround to the point where I saw 33, he isolates Jerax. We'll probably see it on the replay in a couple seconds. He isolates Jerax on the far right of the fight, and it's 2 different fights being taken, and they pretty much don't have their Oracle. That was very nicely taken by NiP.
It really does feel like this game, OG, they sort of shot themselves in the foot with the way that they wanted to play. I mean, you could sort of see the idea, but the fact that 10 minutes in, the kills, it was what, 1 to 2, and there was 2 Midases on NLP's lineup. ILTW's going for this old school phase, Armlet, Desolator build. So it's always going to be hard for them.
We can see on the mini-map, you see how the way 33 is playing, you see Jerax on that right side, so he goes, isolates the Oracle while the fight's happening on the left side. So Oracle, he can't actually look to save a target. So you see Thompson is spam pinging himself. He's like, hey, I need a save. But Jerax is like, I can't. I have to save myself. They stack up. Boom. Chrono catches 2 of them. Just, OG just a big misstep going for that high ground.
I just noticed that as well. To add to the card, there's 95 heroes down, but the Courier dying as well. 33 was also able to find that in the fight. It did have the 4-star recipe on for the Keeper of the Light. So N0tail's going to have to live a little longer without having that completed force.
It's feeling
it's so difficult now. It really is. It's a slow game. It's a carefully calculated game from NiP. 26 minutes. It's only 12 to 8 on the kills, but they're 11k ahead. Their builds have paid off, and it's just going to take some colossal misplays from NiP. Really, it feels at this stage to allow OG to get back in, or of course some of that OG TI magic to also kick in. Maybe there's something that OG can pull off, but it's going to be, it looks almost impossible.
Absolutely. I mean, into all the BKBs, it really does feel that
X comes out, which of the Serpent Wars as well. ILTW does have the backup from the False Promise, but they've already lost N0tail. Thompson trying to look towards Ace. Ace has been disarmed. He's not messing around though. Ace drops the Chronosphere. They managed to catch out Thompson. Thompson is dead. The Hex out as well as the Shackles. Chain locking down ILTW as once again OG just getting slaughtered by NiP. 4 dead this time. Jerax will be the, at least a survivor for OG, but it really feels like OG's just throwing themselves against a brick wall.
Yeah.
As NiP look to well and truly have had their number this game. They knew exactly what to do.
They made the greed work. They made
really
it work perfectly. The way that they played it, they went for the Midases. The way that they responded is the biggest thing for me. It's 33 had a good game in the top lane, and he just showed up to every single situation. Well, pretty much all of NiP did show up, but 33 was parking himself right at the front of the towers, and he's like, hey, come at me, OG.
N0tail, he's been found. Sinister Gaze from PPD drags N0tail in. 33 will get on top of him for the damage, and the call is dead. As this game now, NiP with the lead that they have, they're like, all right, guys, we can start to push ourselves now. We feel that it's in a pretty safe place. As I say, NiP is going to have to make some big mistakes to let this one slip away from them, as they are just so far ahead. Ace nearly hitting 20k net worth at 28 minutes in. He's pretty much doubling the net worth of ILTW's Lifestealer.
I always look at net worth, and then you always look at experience afterwards, and the experience is insane this game. It is over 25,000 experience lead for NiP as well. So just because of all those successful fights, and also even having those Midases, right? They just have such a big level and gold advantage.
I don't know what they do. This is, I mean, one of the more sort of slower, more painful one-sided games we've seen.
Methodical. Just NiP having great control of the map when they're showing up the fights. They only had that one fight top where they had go in OG's favor, and then from there they've just been positioned excellently. They always have, look at this, 33 is always the one just showing his face in the front. They're hiding the rest of the heroes behind him.
Retreat, just get disarmed. Trying to munch through him, but with the Frost Shield, more than fine. Quick Hex comes out. Ace does have a Chronosphere if he sees a chance to jump in and go for a fight. But still, it very much is. It's all up to NiP whether they fight or not at any of these points in the game. They know there's no pressure to do so. the game's fully in their control. It's a full butterfly done.
Yeah.
Ace is just absolutely huge. Nearly level 23. He's going to be on track to hitting a very quick level 25 this game.
And it's crazy. We're still seeing, right? 44 fast in this patch is fastest. And you can imagine that he did not have all these other items in his inventory when he did get those butterflies. Level 22 at this 30-minute mark on this Void. Having an excellent game. 329 last hits is OG.
Go for a bit of a setup. You're going to have Ace jumping on the back lines. We'll get caught up by the Will-O-the-Wisp, but he's not messing around. He pops the BKB. The shackles are there to hold down RTW. That's the carry got. No Tail dead as well. NiP, at this point, they're just making it look like they're a team that's 18k ahead at 30 minutes. They're making it look easy.
Yep.
As Jerax, he's not getting home tonight. TP gets cancelled by the Hex. Thompson, I mean, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to do anything.
He's going to die, I think.
Yeah, he can't jump out. The swipes are stacking up. Shackles are there from Saxa, and Thompson will also die. As this game, I mean, we heard there's some OG fans in the audience. This has got to be a bit of a rough one for them. This is not sort of OG's finest showing.
Still only says an 87% win rate on Dota Plus, but it's feeling
they are
much
TI winners.
more like
I think that's the TI winning status that's sort of giving them the 13% there. As if there's any other team, Valve is certainly giving this 100% to NiP at this point.
Yeah, this is definitely looking pretty much impossible for OG unless they get some kind of even if they get some miraculous combo, I still can't even see them. It's pretty much like Ace has to chrono his team inside of a Wukong's command or something like that.
They've got to go for some incredible chrono whiffs. Five-man chrono on his own team, as you say, may just do it. May just give OG the chance to get back in.
Yeah, it looks super difficult. Their damage is just completely limited. They've got a DD rune now on the Lifestealer. But even then, there's just this Void is almost level 24. Kind of a Manta finished up on top 2. He's got 24 armor and 1800 HP.
Smoke up from NiP. Trying to sort of bait Whip Father at the front. But at the same time, OG, they know that that's not really a target they can jump on. Ace, he's going to go to the time warp forward straight away onto No Tail. He's just running down the Keeper of the Light. No Tail gets beaten down at a couple of hits by Ace. He'll jump up towards the side. RTW getting hit down by 33. He's trying his best to run. The Rage will wear off. Father turns with the Sanity's Eclipse. Buybacks are coming out from OG, but they can't do anything. And Ace, he's going to jump forward. He's still got a chrono. Won't find the opportunity to hit the two of them, so he'll hold on to it for now. Saxon's got the shackles onto Seb. 33 will come and help finish him off. Seb is dead. As they're still holding him for now. They're not quite tapping out yet, OG.
They still got a chronosphere as well at NiP. Ace has been holding it this entire time.
He hasn't needed to use it that whole fight. Saxon. Shackles are there. Chronosphere's out. Ace jumps in with the BKB. That'll be a dead Oracle for 70 seconds. Godlike on the Faceless Void. The Wukong's command is down with the BKB out from Ace. Will allow him to stay alive. He's got another time walk available as he gets out. They did lose PPD. So OG were able to get a kill. Cost them 4 buybacks though. And they won't be able to find anything else.
4 buybacks for that one. It's the perfect position Wukong's command, but he's just not farmed enough for really to do that much. He has a Halberd and Echo Saber. He's not this super farm Monkey King. 26k gold lead still.
Can they break this record? The biggest land throw being a 23.5k. So this will be a new record here at LAN if this game does end up going OG's way.
I do not see a lot of games that get close to that 45,000 XP lead. And they almost have a 45,000 experience lead.
Oh my goodness. I mean, Ace, as we saw, he is level 25. Bottom lane, they'll find the Monkey King Thompson. He'll turn into a tree.
Oh, look at that. It's an astral tree. I've actually not seen that.
It isn't over yet.
It's a dead Thompson once again. Full Abyssal Blade done on 33. The items just continuing to roll in for those on NiP. 33, he'll be able to look for an easy Roshan. Into the pit he goes. Ace is there to help finish it off with him. So OG will, as I say, they still hold on to the tier 3 towers, they still hold on to the barracks.
That's got to be one of the earlier level 25 voids we've seen.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to be one of the fastest. I know we have item timings, I don't know if we have level timings, but it's got to be up there.
Yep.
Go for it. Shackled, OG's trying to come in for the wraparound. They will drop the Will-O-Wisp. There's going to be a buyback straight away from Thompson to try and help the team out here. Ace turning towards RTW, the Abyssal Blade down off the line. The ILTW is dead. 3 dead. GG is called. as OG will finally put an end to the beating as NiP just absolutely beat them around this game. There was, wow, I mean NiP, they act. I don't know if we're going to be seeing much more armlet lifestealer. It seemed like a failed experiment this game. It did not work out for OG. NiP played this patch, OG tried to bring something from the past and it just didn't